it's been a while actually since I've been down here. I know it might not feel like that because time flows differently in a Let's Play when you watch it, but personally I haven't been down here in a couple of weeks since I took a break from this Let's Play to go on holidays and then come back from my holidays. Yeah, I think I did all of this, didn't I? On this side and the other side. Just gonna save, just because I got that cool badge and I don't want to have to get it again. Alright, let's just get it on. Get on with it. Where are we gonna go? Whoa. That island out in the middle of the sea? Or ocean? I don't know, is that a sea or an ocean? I don't know how far away Rogueport is. Is it on another continent or not? I like to imagine it is. I think the planet that the Mushroom Kingdom takes place on is pretty vast. And there seems to be a lot of like new races and cultures in this game that do not appear in the mainline platformer Mario games. So I like to imagine that this is very far away from the traditional Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh yeah.
So as always, after you get your new location, you have to talk to Professor Frankly. And his reaction is always more and more dumbfounded. Yeah, dude, we're gonna go... Oh, okay, first when he's talking about the email, because, like, that email is a big info drop. Like, it's cool that they're kind of telling you what it's gonna be at the end of the game. Like, it's not a surprise as to who the last boss of the game is gonna be. What have you found out, Professor? This is rather long, so you better listen well. Are all of you ready? And you there in front of the TV, you listen up to. I will. Maybe I'm missing something. Are you talking to no one? Yeah, like, is Professor Frankly aware? Because Vivian isn't. Don't worry about such trivial details, just listen. The great cataclysm that I read about in that book may well refer to this demon. Fair enough, I'd say it is. It says that a monster destroyed a large town that once stood on this very area. It also says that the 7 crystal stars were actually created by this monster. And this thing used the power of the crystal stars to try and control the world. According to this book, the demon was defeated in the end by 4 heroes. But only the beast's physical form was destroyed. Its spirit could not be eradicated. So the heroes used the crystal star, which they had stolen from the demon, and they cast the evil beast into the depths of a vast maze and sealed the exit. From this I gathered that the crystal stars cannot distinguish good from evil, so if they're all united they could either seal away or resurrect the demon. It seems that who wields the crystal stars determines if they're used for evil or good. Yeah, fair enough. That's a good kind of like legendary treasure risk all kind of rule. So we're collecting them to make sure that, you know, somebody evil doesn't collect them. Because they should not be used for evil, they should be used for good. And by good, not used at all, because they're not good. I guess it's kind of like the Dragon Balls in the Dragon Ball manga. Once 1,000 years pass, the power to keep the door sealed shut will fail. Yeah, I guess it's like Dragon Ball there as well, where like the Dragon Balls, you make a wish with, if you gather all 7, you make a wish, but then they turn to stone for a year, so you can only collect them once a year and make a wish. But in this case, it's every 1,000 years, which is a big old chunk of time. So you'd rather not gather them because you could create some serious long-lasting damage. Okay, so we're going to Keel Hall Key. That's the name of the island. Vengeful spirits, full of hatred, evil curses, things like... Okay, so Keel Hall Key isn't super friendly either. Alright, so we gotta ask around, because we gotta get on a boat and get to an island. I'm going to switch back to Biscuit, my boy Biscuit, just so I can get around faster. At this point in the game as well, you can do a lot of the side quests. One of the optional partners, well, there is only one optional partner. It's Miss Mouse, the cat burglar mouse, the little thief. You could do a side mission. I'm actually just gonna talk to ZT because, hey, contact Smusher. Oh, she's telling me all about this book. But the thing is, I actually already know about this book. Oh, I thought I already have the book. No. I'm pretty certain I got that book. It's a book you get in the Creepy Steeple. Maybe I didn't. Yeah, look, there it is. No. Maybe I need to, like, leave. This is such a video game thing. Maybe I need to leave the room and then come back in, and she might have a new dialogue option for it. No. Anyway, I actually am going to cook a Dizzy Dial, because I don't really care for them. We haven't done some cooking in a while. She does make some useful items. Actually, a Keel Hall Key later on, there's a character that we're going to be meeting, and he's the best character in the game for items. Oh, I got him. Oh dear. I don't know what her problem is. Maybe I'm just not ready to talk to her yet. No. Let's just go down to the harbour and have a look. See if there's any really obvious looking adventure characters. Okay. Well, first of all, there's this dude. No matter how much I work, life never gets any easier for me. Know what I mean? There's gotta be a way to just go poof and get rich, you know? Poof. Come on, that dude deserves an accent. Ah, here, look at this. Okay, so there's totally a ship that was not there before. Who owns it, though? What's all that about? I think I know who owns it. In fact, I know who owns it. And we've spoken to them before. They should be exactly where I last saw them. Oh, look, there's Weege. I headed to Circuit Break Island and got me a marvelous compass piece. I do not want to hear your story because they go on for way too long. Let's just have a look at this guy's design. That has never been seen before and after in a Mario game. Hey, I'm Torque, and don't for a second think this dude's telling the whole story. The only reason I lent him my rig was because he got down on his knees and begged. And what happens? He's in it for 1 second and he completely totals it. Idiot. I'm not letting this dip out of my sight until he repays me the 5,000 coin repair costs. I love that the currency in Mario is just coin. Alright, let's have a chat with this guy. Like, this dude 100% looks like an adventurer. What is missing from my life? Emotion? Yeah, he does. He needs emotion. Hold the horses. That is it. Oh, yeah, here we go. I love his pointy shoes. Like, a lot of the other characters in this game have, like, chunky shoes, but he's got, like, very slender, narrow, pointy shoes. Like, he's wearing these weird boots. Or, like, I don't know, very flat slippers. Cortez, the Pirate King. That name is important. Yeah, we're gonna do some serious pirate treasure hunting at Keelhaul Key. That's the plan for this chapter. But it takes a while to get this chapter going. You need to kind of get everything in place. Because to set out on a big adventure out at sea is, you know, you've got to prepare in advance. Not a single one of them has ever returned. Oh, the horror makes my back tickle. People here whisper that the ghost of Cortez attacks all who seek his treasure. It's because of those very rumors that people no longer go to Keelhaul Key. But that will not stop Flavio. That treasure is there, yes. And I'm going to prove it. For I am Flavio, trader extraordinaire, millionaire sailor of the seven seas. You're also looking for a treasure here in Rogueport? Why talk such craziness? There isn't anything like that in this dull armpit of a town. Like, what is Flavio? He's just like a yellow dude with like a pointy nose. But like, his design is amazing. Like, there is exactly the right amount of information there to tell you exactly what he is and what he isn't. And his smile is great. Okay, so we're gonna collaborate with this guy. You swine, you mean to steal my treasure out from under me, you awful, awful man. Dude, come on, we're all gonna work together.
Oh, yeah.
A star shaped. Oh. Okay, so Captain Cortez does have a crystal star. Very interesting. What you need is romance, thrills, and emotion. I love that he refers to himself, like, you know, directly as Flavio. What's that? Refers to himself in the third person. Like, only the real special guys out there do that. Okay, you can have the rest of the treasure. I'm not interested in that treasure. Like, Mario is rich as fuck already anyway. Like, think about all the coins he's collected over the years. Alright, let's get these preparations. Danger and adventure tickle my nostrils. I love that like, he has to turn to the item and he picks it up, but like, there isn't a pickup animation. It just sort of like disappears off screen. Okay, I don't need to talk to that gentleman yet, but I believe I will have to. Alright, so here's another bit where you have to do a lot of zigzagging back and forth. And I think you need to talk to certain characters at certain times to activate the dialogue. So let's talk to this gentleman here again. What's the problem? She is a fine vessel, no. This is the SS Flavion, the queen of the countless ships in my personal fleet. The raw majesty of her hull, the pomp and circumstance, none can compare to her. Now, he's really, really into this boat. The problem that has sprung up. I had completely forgotten about it. The SS Flavion, she bewitches me. Okay, he has no idea how to navigate on this. Okay, we need a high-ranked helmsman. We need an absurdly skilled helmsman for our navigator. It is a, how you say, a pickle. Oi, Flavio! Heard you talking there, sir? I can't do that voice. I want to, but I can't. I'm not doing it. Patch. A legendary sailor in Rogueport. He's called Admiral Bobbery, a salty old sea dog by all accounts. He can make any ship bow to his will. Thing is, there ain't a soul what's seen him on the seas of late. Alright, so we gotta look for this Admiral Bobbery guy. Okay, Mario, it's up to you to... Yeah, look, they're all making Mario find Admiral Bobbery. In typical video game fashion, it's up to you to do the thing. You'll also notice Pleased to meet your acquaintance, but... Yeah, that dude's totally an ex-Naut. We fought him before in Chapter 2. He's in disguise. Dude is a complete faker. Like, what a loser. Alright. So... I know where Admiral Bobbery's building is. The thing is getting to it. It's a bit awkward. So I'll see if I can remember how to get to it. Sorry, that's the side mission building where you do all the little side quests. And that's the door that's locked from the inside. That's the door we need to go into, but we need to approach it from the other side. So let's just see what we got here. How do I get up here again? Okay, that's where all these losers are. They're of no use. No. That's not it. Yeah, I need to get up onto the roof. And I can't remember exactly how to get up onto the roof. So let me just try a few things. You can go along that way. Let me just check. If I go around the back here, is there a way to get up onto the roof? I know you can go along this way. No. I can't remember how to do this. Alright. Let's see what we got. Go to the east side and switch to Yoshi. Float across the river so you're south of the fence. Oh yeah, okay. That's a bit tricky, alright, because like, it's a bit of a leap of faith if you haven't done it before. Which of course I have, but... Oh my god. Where will it send me? Oh great, okay, let's try again. Because it doesn't allow you a lot of space. Like, you only have just enough of a margin to get across. And not much after that. Okay. Alright, before I do anything, I'm just going to go behind here, get that star piece, and go up here, and get this. Shine Sprite. Anything else over here? Oh, look at you. Good afternoon to you, sir. I'm called Grifty, the traveling minstrel. I spend my days here in leisure, spinning tales that spin the senses. Oh, yeah. So he's the guy that tells you all about the actual legend of the 4 heroes from 1,000 years ago, which is cool, because that's not really super relevant to the main story of the game, but it's cool that, you know, it's all there as context if you wanted to, but that's completely optional, and I'm not... There we go. I'm not really going to be doing a lot of the optional stuff in this game. I just kind of want to focus on the main storyline. Actually, the fan wiki, the Mario wiki, the usual one, that's a great read if you're kind of into the series. They kind of fill in a lot of the gaps because it is a fully fleshed out world. So I'm looking for Admiral Bobbery. This guy has never heard of the guy, and would prefer if you please left. Well, can I go through here? I don't know, dude. Like, there's a lot of high seas paraphernalia here, and you're wearing a hat, and you've got a little got a boat steering wheel on your back. I love how it's just constantly spinning. But yeah, that's such a cool design for a bob-omb. Okay, so he's saying a big ol' no to whatever I'm offering, and so I think at this point, I do know I need to talk to the barman. Let me see. Yeah, I know him. I think both you and he would be better off if you just let him be. I'll go down and talk to Flavio again. Yeah, I can't remember the order of characters you need to talk to. I'm sure it'd be really interesting to watch this as a speed run, because like obviously a speedrunner would know exactly like who and when to talk to in what order. You found someone who matches Barbie's description but claims he is not him. Strange. I would ask someone who is knowledgeable about the neighborhood about this. Okay, so now that I've spoken to Flavio, that should activate the next step of dialogue. If I talk to the barman, he should now say something a bit more profound about Bobbery. Let's just see if he does so. Okay. No, not you. Let me jump back here. No. Do I need to talk to Bobbery again? Let's just see what he thinks. It's so weird that he has like a house, but it doesn't have any windows. Drop the axe, super stash. We already found out that you're Admiral Bobbery. What, poppycock? Poppycock. The ship needs a navigator. You want me to do the job? Yeah, dude. We really want you on the in the game, please. He is a super handy character, but he's a fucking pain in the ass to get. Only you can get us safely to Keelhaul Key. It's true. Sorry, dear boy, but when I say no, what I mean is no. Away with you. Okay, fine. What's the next move, Chief? This salty dude is going nowhere fast. I can't figure this guy out. What's his beef with the ocean anyway? Okay, it is the ocean. Know what we ought to do? Go find someone who knows what this dude's deal is. Alright, so at this point we can talk to the barman. At least they're all kind of like within like less than a minute walk of each other, so okay, there's backtracking, but at least it's not backtracking across several screens, which, you know, will be evident later on in the game. It's the main big flaw of this game is the backtracking and activating dialogue between characters, and they refuse to talk unless you talk to one character beforehand. Okay, so Bobbery's pretty tough. Admiral Bobbery's tale is sad, horribly sad actually. You'll probably end up crying, but I'll tell it to you if you really want me to. Please do, I can take it. Bobbery's tale of woe goes something like this. Bobbery was once married. He had a wife of enduring beauty named Scarlet. The two of them were madly in love, the sort of love reserved for fairy tales. Now Bobbery was a renowned sailor, so he was away from home for long periods. Scarlet never complained though, and always waited faithfully for Bobbery's return. And Bobbery, his eye never drifted. He loved only Scarlet truly and deeply. So they lived and found happiness where they could, and all was good for a time. But not all good things can last. It was a particularly icy winter when it happened. Scarlet fell ill. A virus? A passing cold? No one knew, but it soon turned serious. Oh, this is so grim. Bobbery, at sea on a long, lonely voyage, knew nothing of his bride's suffering. By the time he returned, Scarlet had succumbed. She was gone. Bobbery, of course, blamed himself. My loving wife perished because of me. If I were not at sea, I could have nursed her to health. I could have saved her. He was overcome with such thoughts. They tormented him always, haunting his sleep. He has never gone to sea since. Gee, what a downer. I guess that's a pretty good reason for hating the ocean. You all know his tale now, so tell me, do you still want him to return to sea? Yes, we have no choice. I'll give you this. The letter Scarlet wrote to Bobbery on her deathbed. Why do you have that? I don't know what's written inside, but I could tell you what she told me as she lay dying. If I should succumb to this plague, and if my love should blame himself for my death, then give this letter to him. When I saw Bobbery and Mizzy trying to forget the pain as he mourned his wife, I just couldn't bring myself to present this letter to him. I've regretted it ever since. There is some awkward drama in Rogueport. Dude, you should have given him the letter. Like, I was too cowardly to do. Take it to Bobbery. Alright.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, like, it feels like a weird small town soap opera with all these characters that have known each other for way too long, got way too invested in each other's lives, and should just be more direct with each other about information. Oh, by Blabberton's beard, not you again. Away with you. No. We got a letter. For me? Oh, I love his little jump. Scarlet's handwriting. Scarlet, my love. My love, if you're reading this, then I am no longer by your side. Because fate has stepped between us, I've decided to write you this letter. If you're reading this, I must have passed away while you were out to sea. I can only assume that you will blame yourself for it, my sweet Bobbery. Although my life was short, you gave me more than a lifetime's worth of joy. Though you will mourn, I beg that you remember that time, like love, is a tide. You are one with the sea, as you were one with me. Do not lose both your life's loves. 1,000 pardons, but may I have a moment alone, if you please? He's broken. Oh dear. Poor Bobbery. Such a tragic character. Did he go in there to cry?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because he acts all tough and stoic and, like, you know, nothing will ever, like, faze Bobbery, but he's so vulnerable at the same time. The poor guy. Alright, well, now that we have Bobbery, we could set out. I don't think we have anything else we need to do in Rogueport. I thought I could talk to Zesty, the chef, about that book I found in Creepy Steeple, but that's probably one of those Rogueport updates. I don't need that. Yeah, I don't think I need to do anything here. Like, all I was really looking for was that badge that stopped you from getting hurt by spikes, which I can't equip just yet, but next time I level up I'm going to be adding more badge points, and I'm totally going to be equipping that badge because it's super handy. I must say, ahoy, I was wise to choose you as the captain. You know it, buddy. Yeah, let's shove off. Very well, to the sea. Raise anchor and set sails for thrills and emotion. And romance and money. Our destination is dread. Keelhaul Key. Wait up. Oh, this is so good. Wow. I just love the presentation of this game. This is X01 here. Come back, dude. I repeat, X01 over here. Over. Sorry. So one of the X-Nauts has infiltrated the crew. And here we are at the beginning. Even though it doesn't feel like it, this is the actual beginning of Chapter 5. The Key to Pirates. month, star, day, X, circle. What a weird calculation system for the time of year. Oh, that's such a nice color for the. Oh, that I don't know. That just looks great. Anyway, yeah, because you know it's the olden times. Even though like there's Game Boy Advances in this world, like traveling by sea still kind of feels like it did 1,000 years ago. Well, not 1,000 years ago. Like I don't know, 500 years ago, let's say. It really does feel like you're just setting out to a destination unknown. I love the ragtag bunch of characters in your pirate crew that you have a bunch of toads and some bob-ombs. And Flavio is just so full of shit. Great, he started again. A Tale of Bravery, right? I heard this one yesterday. Oh dear. Dude, the boat's just stopped. Sorry to interrupt your wicked story. That's such an English thing to say, but sorry to interrupt your wicked story, mate. Take care of it. Aye aye, Flavio. I'll get on it right quick. Wait a tick. Yeah, like... No way. I'm working on it. Just a wait a Goomba stomping moment, you scallywags. I was waiting for someone to say scallywag. Scallywag is such a great word. Oh, I quit shoving, eh? I'm working here, over here. I said quit shoving. There. What is this ruckus now? Who is here? Will someone tell me what is going on? Oh, whoa, there's loads of them. They're totally cursed. Pirate ghosts. All of them rumors were true. Gotta get out of here. Do not panic yourselves. Move the boat. Oh, ghostly oohing thing. Are you really the savage pirate king? Even Flavio's scared now. Remain civilized. Also, my GameCube controller is just going insane with rumble. Like, I think the rumble in the GameCube controller is pretty decent, all things considered. Like, it's... Considering, like, the GameCube is, what, like, nearly 20 years old now? When did it come out? 2001? 2002? It's got some nice rumble feedback to it. We have washed ashore. We have lost 3 crew members along the way, including Admiral Bobbery. What else did we lose? Was it just 2 toads or something? Okay, so they floated ashore. They're on the island. I think the island itself is Keelhaul Key. It is, yeah. And yeah, it's like that Tom Hanks movie Castaway. They've just like... They've set up their own little village. Or I guess, yeah, like Lost as well. Although this game predates Lost. Three days on the island now, and the huts are all finished. And you might have noticed with the toads, one of the toads was like I actually really like the design for Keelhaul Key, that it's like this, like, just this jungle, tropical, desert island. Like, it really sells the sense of adventure. So, actually, I just want to double check what's over here. I don't know if he's going to be there or not. Oh, there he is. Okay, so this is Whack-a-Bump. Oh, sorry, I'm Wacka. You've got some good weather today, right? Whack-a-do. So he keeps saying the word whack, and if you hit him, you get the Whack-a-Bump, and it replenishes 25 HP and 25 FP, which is super handy. But he only appears each time you kind of reset the game, I think. Like, I think if I left the area and came back, I don't think he'd be back there. At least I don't think. I'm just going to double check. May as well. But he's great for kind of farming a super useful item. Because he's just... Yeah, let's just see. Oh, no way. Okay. Alright, well, 2 of them is enough to work with now, but I'm definitely going to be visiting this guy later on in the game. Because as the boss battles get trickier, it's a super useful item to have. This is a great island civilization. Like, I think without that item, the Whack-a-Bump, the game is actually a lot harder. But it's just, it's super weird that they just have this really, really good healing item that replenishes a good chunk of your health and a good chunk of your, like, special attack, you know, your flower points. What are they, heart points and flower points? Yeah, yeah. What we got? Captain Stash, them ghosts are back. That's so cheeky, like, you never see ghosts during the day. Gotta straight up fight them. Alright, so I'm forced into this obligatory fight. Yeah, you can't play this one. Alright. What can I do? Can I gulp them? Okay. Good stuff, Yosh. Alright, let's see if I can hit one into the other with the hammer. Because I get the feeling you can't jump on them, because you would get burnt. At least that's what I think. Oh wow, I still have the fortune going. Although I did pay for the most expensive one, I think. Alright, that's good. Alright. Ow. Alright, let's sort this guy out. This should be enough to... Oh, the last one's still going. Okay. This should kill him now. Alright, dead. Actually, Keelhaul Key is, it's got a lot of enemies. There's a section later on where you're just bombarded by enemies. So it is great for kind of grinding and going up a level or two. Yeah. I'm totally gonna have to explore this island, because, like, who else is gonna do it? So yeah, you've got your shop. I love that, you know, they've tried their best to make this shop. Get your items. What does this do? Oh, Fright Mask. It just scares enemies away. Alright, may as well save. Do I say may as well save each time I get to a save spot? I probably do. Like a really, really lame catchphrase. Definitely gonna replenish my health just to be 100%. I still love that when Mario goes to sleep, he just slides in and it's just like tucking a card into an envelope. Good stuff. Alright, I'm going to save again just because everything is back up at 100%. Health-wise and energy-wise. Oh, sorry, I just saw something back there. You can see the corner of it sticking out there. Good stuff. Hang on to those, because I'm going to be needing them later. Oh dear. Alright, so what are these guys called again? Fuzzies? We use the multi-bounce. Except I completely flubbed it. The audience were not happy with that one. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna end up using Biscuit a lot this game just because he's just super handy for getting around quick. What's this one? Execute superbly. Oh, cool. That's super handy. But I don't know if I'll be equipping it. Whoops. That's always good. Yeah, their kind of bounce is really hard to kind of calculate where they're going to be. Alright. Alright, that's one down. I'm gonna try the bounce on this one. So it's weird that, like, those enemies are spiky, right? But they don't hurt your feet. Because they're not the kind of spiky that's, like, actually spiky. It's just, you know, a design element. Let's switch back to Mario. And... yeah. And then I'll just do the ground pound. I think this is the noisiest attack. Alright, that's enough. Good stuff. Alright, I should be up a level very soon too. That it? That's it. A lot of this island looks the same. Well, it doesn't look the same, but there's a lot of screens. Left and right of kind of where your little kind of civilization is. Alright. Let's just see, can Yoshi gulp these guys up? Oh, you can. That does a good chunk of damage. Alright. Let's see what we got out of this one. Alright, good. So these guys are... yeah, because they will poison you, which really, really sucks. You don't want to be poisoned. Okay. Alright, take that, bozo. I'm going to use the gulp attack even though there's nobody to spit it back out on, but I have plenty of flower points and I'm going to be going up a level soon anyway, which will replenish it. So, I don't mind spending my flower points. Yeah, look, I need like 5 more points until I go up a level. That's fine. Okay. Can't get me up here. Okay, Yosh. There we go. Alright, so that's one down. And I'm going to use the super hammer and knock it into the one behind. Okay. Oh, no way. No, no way. Oh dear. Okay. Let's do some jumping. You gotta do that stylish. You gotta be styling at all times. Excellent. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of star points off these enemies. That's great. Okay, I am going to up my badge points. Because that's long overdue. I haven't done that in ages. And then before I do anything else, let's just go to the badges and a spike shield. Because that is just going to make life so much easier. Okay. I thought he was going to kind of come towards me and attack, but I think he was just... Okay, so that is a dry ice machine, and sometimes what happens is it will randomly freeze you. But it can also randomly freeze your opponents. Alright. There we go. That one's really, really hard to time, but there is a way that just before he sucks out your health, you can deflect it. So I'm going to try and jump on this guy. Yep. So normally if you jump on a piranha plant, you would get hurt. But not anymore. And you can see the stage in the background is starting to wobble. There we go. Alright. There we go. Okay. Ah, yeah. Yeah, you definitely need Yoshi for this bit. I think. Oh, no. You could clear those gaps with just Mario. I think you need Koops for this bit. You can kind of see the shadow of something there. Aren't you? Oh, yeah. Alright, looks like I'm gonna have to go back all around. I'm sure someone was like, dude, you completely forgot about that hidden block. And you could see it, the silhouette of it hidden, or its shadow kind of cast. I think in all fairness, the platforming in this game isn't the best. It's kind of hard to time your jumps sometimes. The follow-up to this game, Super Paper Mario, is okay. I don't find it that... I don't find it that fun to play. I do think the platforming is the weakest part of this game. Like, it is definitely improved with Super Paper Mario, but that's a very tedious game. And the writing isn't as strong. Now... Nice. Okay. Don't have to do that again. Thunder Rage. I never read the item descriptions. I'm so bad for that. I remember, I'd never played a From Software game. Oh yeah, here's Bobbery. I'd never played a From Software game before I'd played Bloodborne. And like, I love Bloodborne. Like, it's one of my favorite games of all time. But whenever I'd pick up an item, I'd just be like pressing X just to like keep going on with the game, and I'd never read the item descriptions. Like, obviously you can go back and just read them afterwards. But I think some of the characters you talk to, they give you some good information dumps. You know, because so much of that game is told through the context of the items. But I'm so bad for ignoring item descriptions. But sometimes I find that it will over-describe something, and you'll think an item does way more than it actually does. Leave Bobbery alone. Wait, but we have to go back and save him. You guys are such cowards. I love that, like, he's a lot of damage to his paper aesthetic, and that one of his horns is peeling over. From the battle that we had in Chapter 2. And hey, you, out there in front of the TV, yeah, I'm talking to you. Okay, so he can also see the fourth wall. It may be pretty obvious to you who I am, but no telling Mario or else. So stupid. You in front of the TV. Did this guy go nuts or what? Yeah, so like, I guess all the good guys are not self-aware that there is a television. Oh, what am I doing? I can't remember. Yeah, so you can see that there's a pipe. Oh dear. Why do I drop down? Can you not drop down? Do you need to like drop down very slowly this way? Seems I do. Okay, I do want to cross this gap. There we go. Just cause. There we go. Got me a coconut, and I am going to... Well, I'm not... I'll get rid of the mistake. I don't want that shit. It ain't tasty. I'll just toss it. Okay, good. I can't remember what the coconuts do. I don't know why I wanted a coconut. In real life, I think coconuts are great. I think they're delicious. I don't want to get that. But I do want to get this. It's pretty well hidden. Now, it doesn't look that well hidden in HD, but if you're playing this on an LCD or TV, 15 years ago on a, a big fat television, you wouldn't see that stuff super well. So I believe Bobbery is up there. I'm just going to replenish my health. Just because I don't want to mess up. I'm very cautious of this game now. Because I've died twice just because I kind of overestimated myself. Alright. Alright, take that, bozo. Alright. Yeah, you didn't burn me there. Okay, you did burn me there. You got me there. These guys aren't too bad. Alright. Excellent. The pain of it all. Oh, Mario, oh boy. What, are you gonna die? This dude's like constantly convinced that like he's not gonna live very long. Before I go to my rest, Choco-Cola. Alright, so he wants his Choco-Cola. What's up ahead actually? Ah, yeah. So I can't do this bit just yet, but that's where I'm gonna be going once the game allows me to. But for now I gotta do some tedious fetch questing. The worst part about this flawed gem of the game. Alright. Yeah, and I'm gonna have to keep using Yoshi as well. It's the only way to like get through this whole bit as quick as possible. Alright, so I'll dip into my questions here. I'll actually take part in some of these fights as well. Okay, so I'm going to dip into some questions while I just chip away at this game. I keep getting asked over and over about working in animation and, getting interested in animation. I know I've talked about this before in previous Let's Plays and on the podcast and stuff like that. And whenever I talk about it, I always forget one or two things and I'm like, oh shit, I should have said this as well. So another one that I remember is, or another kind of bit of advice I remember getting was from my dad. And so during my teenage years, I'd make short films and they were fine, some were good, some were terrible. They were just, goofy little stop-motion movies that I made up by the computer using the webcam. And, like, they had potential. Let's just say they had potential. And, sorry, my parents were super supportive about the whole thing. And a great bit of advice my dad gave me was that he was like, okay, so you want to be in the creative industry, like you want to be someone who makes something and, pulls from personal experience to make art. And I was like, yeah, I guess, I don't know, I just want to make cartoons. And he was like, yeah, but you want to make something. Who do I talk to actually here? We're one man short. Sorry, I'll get back to my story in a sec. I just want to make sure I'm definitely doing the right thing. I need that cola. What is it you say? Choco-Cola. Well, why would I have that? Found it on the beach, but for this noble cause, I yield. However, this Choca-Cola is part of our supplies, which we need to survive. So I need you to find something to eat to replace this. Okay, I think I can give him the coconut. It's a bit cliched, I know, but... Okay, perfect. I'm glad I got that coconut. Okay. Just gonna save. Just to be sure, just to be safe. Gotta save. But I remember a good bit of advice my dad taught me, and I guess this is something kind of like, you know how like parents are with their kids, where like the kids will make something and it might not actually be good, but your parents are always like, that's great, like you did a great job at that drawing, and like they're not going to say anything negative about something you made most of the time, you know. They will look to find something nice about it. Switch to multi-bounce. And my parents were always super supportive like that. They would always try and find the good in something I made. Which is great, which is nice. Sweet. Oh, I didn't mean to use that. Oh dear. Ah well. I have plenty of whack-a-bumps. So, I'll get over it. But a good bit of advice that my dad gave me was that if you make art, not everyone is going to like what you make. You could make the greatest thing ever, and someone out there is just not going to get, is not going to respond positively to it. Just because you know how people just don't like stuff sometimes. And I guess telling a 15-year-old that, you know, going into the world of, you know, creating stuff, people are entitled to their own opinions, and, you know, once it's out there, it doesn't belong to you anymore. And to not take it personally, because he was like, you know, there's famous films like 2001: Space Odyssey, Citizen Kane, stuff like that. But like, objectively, they're great films, but like, just because they're objectively great doesn't mean that like everyone in the whole world thinks they're great. I guess that's what he was going for. And so that was really good advice, just to be told as a teenager that, you know, you're gonna make stuff, not everyone is gonna like it. I'm gonna do the Shade Fist. Oh, that was a shit ton. Okay, I'm gonna stick with Vivian for a while. Sure. Like, I guess now as an adult, if you make something and it's not going to get well responded, it just kind of like gives you thicker skin, or just makes you understanding of criticism, you know. It's fine, whatever. Like, it's no big deal if someone doesn't like the thing you make. Or, you know, like even in animation, you're constantly getting retakes, and it's just not taking it personal. Like, it's a collaborative effort. Something can always be improved. Doesn't always need to be improved, but like, you can always chip away at something and make it better. That's fine. And just not to, you know, not to be so personal about your stuff. That was definitely a thing as well, when I was doing animated shorts as a kid. Because like, for the first like year or two when I was doing them, I was just doing animations, because like, I didn't know anyone else my own age that was making short films. And I remember then, one of the summers, as a teenager, they had a filmmaking course, and one of the, like, I can't remember if it was a community center or if it was just a secondary school that had been... I'm gonna put Mario in the back. But I ended up doing a filmmaking course. This was like live action filmmaking. Because like, I figured like, okay, I'm not gonna find anyone nearby that's super into animation, because like that was kind of niche. I'm actually going to use a whack-a-bump. Or will I? I'll just use a mushroom for now. I'll manage. I don't really need the flower points right now. Definitely going to take on this dude. But yeah, I did a two-week filmmaking course, and it was so much fun. It was great just to meet other people my own age who were interested in making movies as well. And it turned out afterwards that one or two of the people actually lived within walking distance of me. You know, less than half an hour walk. They'd just gone to different schools to me, so I just never knew about them locally. It just, our paths had never crossed. And then one of the guys, two of the guys in the filmmaking course were cousins. So even though his cousin lived far away, because they were related, it was very easy for one of them to get a lift, and we could all collaborate and start making movies. And at that point we were old enough that we would start kind of going into town at the weekends or after school. And because I went to school in town anyway, I was very well familiar with town, but it just worked that it was like a meeting point for all of us, and we would just bring camcorders with us and just start making dumb movies. And like, they were dumb movies, but like, it didn't matter what you made, it was just about making it. Like, it was just about collaborating with other people and seeing what you created. As well, near me, I lived in an estate that was beside undeveloped land, so I had like a very, well, like, I wouldn't call it a woods, I wouldn't call it a forest, but there was a big patch of trees, and like, you could jump over a wall and do whatever you wanted in the woods. And like, I know there was teenagers there that would go there to like start bonfires and go drinking, but I guess I wasn't one of those teenagers. I was one of the teenagers that went into the woods with my friends to make dumb movies. And I think I still have some of those movies. I'm not letting anybody see them because they're super embarrassing. But I do think it was a super fun, oh my god, I do think it was a super fun learning experience just to kind of go into the forest and, you know, you've no adults around and you just do what you want. And what I did was make stupid movies. And like, they'd be like, oh, it'd be like us doing like impressions of Steve Irwin, rest in peace. You know, just pretending we're like jungle explorers. I think this is why it's coming back now, just because of the stage we're in right now. This. Actually, I'm gonna pick up that item. Ice power. Okay. What does that do? I pressed it too quickly. What? Is it a badge? Oh, it is a badge. Makes Mario damage proof when jumping on fire enemies. Oh shit, that's super handy. Okay, I might upgrade my badge points again on the next level up. Because there are a couple of fire enemies coming up. I'm going to switch back to Vivian. Yeah, I'll just switch back to Viv. Okay, here we go. That distinctive bouquet, you've brought it. It awakens my mouth. Dude, he's like me with Pepsi Max. Like, Pepsi Max is my favorite soft drink. I don't know if you can get Pepsi Max in America or if it's just called like Pepsi Zero or something. It's the version of Pepsi that doesn't have any sugar in it, and they've replaced it with a different chemical instead to give it a sweet taste. But it's my favorite soft drink, and I know you're not supposed to be loyal to brands or anything like that, or, you know, think for yourself, but if I was to be sponsored by Pepsi Max, I would totally take them up on it, because it's actually like a product I believe in. Okay, so you have to talk to him a bunch, and he thinks he's dying, but really he just wants to go to sleep. He's just sleeping after all that. He didn't want to die. Whack him awake. Huh, what? Yobbity yobbity pirates? Where are those pirates? I'm trying to think of other products that I would personally endorse, or I would definitely take some sort of brand loyalty sponsorship from, and I would like wear like I think if I was forced to wear like a Pepsi Max baseball cap at public events, depending on what the deal was, I would take them up on the offer because I like that drink. If it was any other drink, I'd be like, nah. But I do enjoy the product, so fuck it, sure. If it was a good deal, if it benefited both parties, I'd do it. I know our podcast doesn't do sponsorships, and that's a whole thing that, you know, we've got the Patreon, and thank you everyone who supports the Patreon. But one of the kind of like deals with our Patreon is that, you know, it'll remain ad free, or at least that's the plan. Because John, Neve, and myself, we don't have any kids or anything. We don't have any like, you know, serious financial woes where we need to be, you know, paying off a large college debt or anything like that. So we don't need a lot of cash flow from the podcast. It's purely, I guess, like, what's like the phrase now, a side hustle. Because, you know, we all have our full-time jobs. The podcast it's just there as like a super cool hobby that we get to share with anyone who's interested. And I'm glad there are people interested. I know I've told the story a couple times before. Oh yeah, sorry. This is the whole thing where throughout the game you've seen these cracks on the walls. Yeah, so like if you see a crack in the wall, you can use Bobbery to blast open that crack. I think I should be able to use it over here. When we first started doing Let's Fight a Boss... Excellent. When we first started doing Let's Fight a Boss, we only made it just for like our friends that we worked with. Not do anything? No. No. Can I... Large stone box away. It needs to be carved into the shape of a skull. The space for one of the eyes you could possibly... Okay. I think I need to go back now to Flavio, because I need to ask him for another favor. Another special request. Oh my god, you actually have to jump over that bit. Jumping in a Mario game? I don't think so. When we first started doing Let's Fight a Boss, it was for like 10 people to listen to, like our co-workers at work, and we just did it because like we all listened to other podcasts, and we were like, well, we could do that. So we just started pretending like we had a podcast, and we would just record it, and we would give shout outs to our friends, and like they were all just the same people that we worked with, because at the time we all worked in the same animation studio. And so the idea was that we would record this show, and our friends who worked alongside us would listen to it, which was kind of weird because I'd be like sitting beside people who were hearing my voice at their workstation. Oh no, no, I didn't really want that. It's fine. Which is so dumb that, like, you know, the idea with the podcast was that it was only for a small group of people. Is this gonna make us both fall asleep? Okay, not me. Poor Yoshi. Oh, I could take this guy out. Can I? No, I can't. Oh dear. That means I'll get more XP. But then the podcast got bigger and bigger, and we kind of had to rethink the whole thing and come up with a grander plan for it. That's why the first 30 episodes of the podcast are not publicly available, because a lot of the information in that is very kind of like, we were very loose-lipped about kind of our personal lives, and like there isn't anything like super damning. Like, we don't give away our like addresses or anything, but we give away like, I don't know, more than we should have. And now we're super careful about what we say. Like, we still say some dumb stuff on our show, but it's always kind of very tongue-in-cheek, and for the most part, like, we can't catch everything, but if we feel we said something that we're not comfortable with, or kind of afterwards we're like, actually, we shouldn't have said that. The majority of times, this isn't everything, obviously, but like for the most part, we will edit it out. That's why I don't know if we'd ever do something live as a group, like, you know, doing a Twitch stream or something. I know John and Mia do Twitch streaming. John's streaming something right now, actually. He's doing Silent Hill 2, which is on Twitch, and it should then be archived to YouTube afterwards. But I think he's definitely the most experienced in terms of working with a crowd. Neve was the first to do it, actually. Last summer she started streaming on Twitch. And so that kind of definitely spurred John and myself to kind of get into Let's Plays as well. But I'm definitely the least kind of enthusiastic about putting myself out there. I'm quite a private person. And I'm very much kind of like, I like to control what is out there publicly about me. Because I like my privacy. I know I like people knowing who I am, but I also like people not knowing everything about me. Because, like, I've nothing bad to hide or anything. I just rather, you know, I like to live a simple life. I could never be, like, actually famous. You know how as a kid that's always like a dream to be like a rich, famous person? I like the first part of that sentence, but not the second part. If you could just be like a secret millionaire, that'd be awesome. What the hell are they talking about? I'm missing some good stuff here. Okay, yeah, so we found that rock. We gotta get, but we need something to open up. If you want the treasure, why don't you get it yourself? Who thinks I should go along to investigate the Skull Rock? Oh heck yes, take him please, get rid of him. Like, they just don't want him. Actually, this is very funny, just because, like, so far in this game, Flavio has been sending you back and forth. But for this bit, like, they have forced Flavio to join them. What was I saying? Yeah, that's amazing. I completely forgot that, like, he also jumps onto your back. And you can see there for a frame, if you turn, you can see Flavio's boot is kind of overlaid around Mario's head.